Hello and welcome to the 32nd episode of the But I'm Knitting podcast. My name is Ramona. I am a knitter from Toronto. Welcome to my corner of the crafting world. I don't know how long this episode is going to be because I didn't plan out my time too well and I have to be at work relatively soonish, but I still should be able to crack out an episode, no problem. So, before I forget, you can find me on Ravelry as Mona Lee 81. And you can find me on Instagram as Rome_Raven. Those are pretty much the only things that I somewhat regularly check and update and all that kind of stuff. So, I have an FO. I have a new cast on. I'm still deciding on that. I got a bit of a work in progress, and I got some stash enhancements. So, let's start with my FO. So, last week I showed you guys my... but first, let me just tell you about my Speckle and Pop shawl. Last week I showed it to you guys. That day I continued working on it and I finished weaving in all the ends. Very happy about that. Still haven't blocked it, which I was supposed to do. I got to show it off at the Knitters Guild and the reaction was great. So the colors looked great. I love the way everything turned out, so I was very happy with that. But because I knew I didn't really have anything to work with, I pulled out one of my older projects. Actually, no, it's not really an older project because I was working on it last week, but I actually managed to finish it. So, it is my, first sock you've already seen, which is the Gilded Socks. The yarn is from the Cosy Knitter on her Bliss base, and the color is called Gild. And I finished the second one. So, last week, let me put this down here. So, last week I was here. I thought I would get the heel finished before I went to the guild meeting. That didn't happen. So, I pretty much finished the heel by Thursday, and then I just sat down there and just I knit it part way with my 9-inch circulars, high sharps, and then I just said I've had enough of doing it like this, and I pulled out my I magic looped the rest of it, and so the sock is done. So that's another pair of socks to go into my box of socks for 2017. Let me grab my box. One blocker free. Another blocker free. And how many pairs is that? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You think I can crank out another 3 pairs by the end of the year? Probably not, but still. So that's 9 pairs of socks for my box of socks. I finished the socks while I was in Hamilton, and I had some free time on Friday, and I was determined that I'm going to make it out to the Hand Knit Yarn studio out there. I don't get to make it there very often, so of course I went. I was only going inside there to look for needles, because I just wanted another pair to magic loop with, and I ended up leaving with a set of needles and yarn. Oops. But, actually, you know what? We'll leave that for later. Going off on story format, which is not the way I wanted it to be. So, let me actually show you my work in progress. I pulled out one of my yarns that I dyed and decided I was going to try it out, but I'm not really certain how much I like it. So, the yarn that I'm using is one that I dyed. It's an 80-20 merino and nylon blend. This is what the yarn looks like in a cake. I call it Greninja 658, but I'm not certain if I like the colors. It's not exactly what I had in mind for when I was working on it. I expected it to have more black, but it's at least a good way to see how it looks when it's knitted up. So here's what I have done so far. I think I started this on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. So this is pretty much how it stripes up. I didn't realize it would end up being like practically single row stripes all the way around. It was my first time actually knitting with yarn that I dyed in this method. And I do kind of like it. I'm not certain if you know what, the more I'm looking at this thing, it's really starting to grow on me. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. So it's just the colors that I have the issue with. I wanted a bit more speckle, and it didn't quite turn out speckle, but that's pretty much expected with the way that I did it. I still have a new method that I need to try out, which I did not get to try out, but I will work on that. So that was my new cast on for the week. that was pretty much all that I worked on, other than my Blankie. I put on 3 squares from yesterday till today. It wasn't that much. It was just squares left over from my shawl. So last week, the last one you saw was this one for my shawl. I added on 3 of the solid colors, so the hot pink, the purple, and the peach. So I have at least 3 more colors that I need to add on to it. I don't know if I'll get them done by next week, because somehow or another I managed to lose one of the skeins. I have no clue where it went to. It's somewhere in my room, and I'll find it eventually, but it is what it is. So, yep, 3 squares that I added on to my blanket. Hopefully next week I'll have more added on. So let's just go toss that. So that's it for my current works in progress. So now we could talk about new acquisitions. Okay, so what I got at the Hand Knit Yarn Studio. It's impossible for me to go there and not buy anything. So instead of getting the needles that I planned on getting, I ended up leaving with DPNs instead. Hold on, that shouldn't still be there. I ended up getting DPNs instead. So I got Knitter's Pride Dreams. That's what they had there. I got them in a size 0. Good for a pair of hand knit socks. And then afterwards, I also purchased sock blanks. 2 of them. I walked into the store, and I was looking around. I'm like, ooh, these are pretty. And then I walked around this, not bin, the shelving unit that they have in the middle of the store. And I saw these, and I'm there like, I had a hard enough time trying to decide which one I wanted. I couldn't decide, so I just bought 2 of them. And it was a really good price, too. So these are Magic Ketty, or Magic Ket. I think it's by Borgo di Pazzi, Firenze. I'm not quite certain if I'm pronouncing that properly, but it sounds like it's supposed to be Italian. So I got this colorway, which, actually I haven't even looked to see what these colorways are called. Huh. I haven't even tried putting them up on Instagram. Oh, there it is. This is color 1. See? So it's got blue, green, like a dark navy blue. There's green, there's white, there's black. I think those are all the colors that are on here. And then I got this one, which is called Color 2. And it's pretty much orange, yellow, like a mustard yellowish color, and pink. So I'm looking forward to doing that. The thing that I do like about this, the way that they do their yarn, they specifically tell you exactly where to start from. It just has a little arrow that says, start here. So there's no confusion as to where to go for it. So I was about to cast these on when I was in Hamilton, and I ended up not doing it. So I saved myself, because I like, if I do it, then I can't show it to anybody. Like how it looks in its full format. So I don't know if I'll get started on that soon. We'll have to see. There was only a debate going on in my head as to which yarn I was going to bring, which yarn I was going to start my next pair of socks, because I was about to pull out my Andre Sue Knits sock blank, but I think I'm going to wait till after I finish the ones I'm currently working on before I break that out. And just as a reminder, this is the one with the foxes on it, which is like honestly stinking adorable. Like, yeah. So maybe I'll try that one when I finish these ones. Maybe I might wait till the beginning of 2018, and this could be like my first pair of socks I'd knit for 2018 or something like that. We'll have to see. I did get a little bit more acquisitions, but these were more like from my knitting circle that they gave these to me. So I have one of my knitting friends. She's constantly trying to get rid of her excess stash. She's had so much yarn. She's brought me bags of cotton, bags of acrylic yarn, and not often do I actually go and look until she starts bringing out like sock yarn. Then I'm like, ooh, let me go and look. But this time I actually decided, you know, I saw the color and I'm like, I want to get it. And I don't know what I'm going to make out of it, but I'm going to make something. And it was 2 balls of this yarn. I just know that it's acrylic and it's like almost like a hot pink color. So I was thinking if I could match it with like a black or a gray or something like that, I'll make myself a hat. I should have more than enough to do that. And then specifically, she brought me this Rowan Pure Wool, Pure Wool Worsted. It's a beautiful, beautiful green. It's not as bright as like my walls, but I do like it. So I don't know what I'm going to make with that yet, but we'll add that to the stash. And I don't know, I saw this one that she brought, which is a acrylic yarn. But I'm looking at it, and this green is just bright and beautiful. I said I'm going to take it. I still don't know what I'm going to make out of that, but I'm trying not to go ridiculously crazy because I do know that I'm not too big of a fan of me, myself, knitting with acrylic yarn. So I'm not going to probably come back with that much more. But more power to the people who do like it. It's more free left in the stores. But I'm happy with the little bit that I got. So we'll put that down there. Let's see. What else happened? On Friday, when I was in Hamilton, I went to the library that's in Jackson Square. They have a knitting circle that meets there. And a few years ago when I was in Hamilton, I would visit there almost every week. And I haven't been there in a long time. It's been years. Like when I say years, it was like 2013, 2014 that I was there. So now it's 2017. It's been a while. So I went to the library. I asked if they were still a knitting circle. Good thing I did because they weren't in the same location that they were before. I was directed there. And I recognized probably two of the people who were there from a couple years ago. But I don't think they remembered me at the time. But, just come in and sit down and relax. And I had people to knit with, and I was happy. And when I was leaving, because I was going to go meet my friend after she finished her shift at work, one of the ladies, they're like, "You used to come here, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, a few years ago." She's like, "I remember you." We're actually still Facebook friends, technically speaking, but we don't really talk that. I don't really do much on Facebook other than, like and look at pictures. So it's one of those things where it's just they're like, "Oh, well, it was nice to meet you." And she's like, "Come back and visit anytime." Told her it's pretty much all dependent as to whether or not my school was on strike. Or, yeah, if colleges were on strike. And, oh, guess what? They're not on strike, so I do have school again. I have my first class tomorrow, actually. I don't know if I'm fully looking forward to it. I'm still debating as to what I'm going to do. But I don't know if I'll keep you posted, but eventually I'll make up my mind as to what I'm going to do. So that was fun, getting to see them again. What else happened? I think that's pretty much it for what happened knitting wise and all of that kind of stuff, other than the guild meeting, which was interesting. My memory is horrible, but her name, she goes by as Dr. Knit. She was the one who had the presentation in the meeting, and it was really interesting about basically different ways of thinking about how you do your knitting to make things that most people wouldn't think of making. So I thought it was really interesting, and it did get my mind thinking as to different ways that you can get to make something. So I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm trying to let the ideas seep in, and hopefully it will influence my future knitting. So that's actually everything for today, and I hope to talk to you guys again next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your crafting time with me, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye!